Love and Where to Find It is generally a really good film, but there's part of the narrative that I thought was really poorly done. Not to the extent that I didn't like the film, but it did irritate me. But in general, I rather enjoyed this. This is a Real One film from 2021. It's directed by Ken Friss, written by Victoria Rose, and we have a cast including Elise Gatien as Lena and Clayton James as Jonah. And Lena owns a coffee store, and Jonah is a bit of a rival, and obviously she's not his biggest fan. And that part of it, the bit with the coffee shop, didn't necessarily go the way I was expecting, but in a way that was really interesting. So I thought that part of the narrative, very well done. The other part focuses on several romantic aspects. One, of course, Lena and Jonah have a relationship or lack thereof and how that develops. I absolutely loved that part of it. The bit that doesn't work is when they bring in the dating app. We, the viewer, can see who they're texting on the app or who they're messaging. They don't know. And I don't want to say too much about that. I mean, it's pretty obvious early on. But I will say that that part of it was so poorly executed. And it's not that it can't work. There are films like this where people are texting or messaging on a dating app and they don't realise they already know the person. And it's done very well in some other films. But unfortunately with this one, it was absolutely terribly executed and it didn't need it either. The narrative would have worked pretty much exactly the same without that element. So I feel like they were trying too hard to give it too much, and unfortunately that part of it just fell flat. But the rest of it, I definitely enjoyed, and there are a few reasons. One, there's a nice variety in the narrative. There are a lot of different activities, a lot of things to keep it fresh and interesting, so that works really well. And then we have the characters. Lena is likeable, but Jonah is brilliant. I really, really liked Jonah as a character, and it was so easy to follow his journey emotionally and get behind them and want the best for the both of them. So that definitely worked really well. And in general, I'd say Love and Where to Find It is a decent film. It's not perfect. Part of the narrative just doesn't work very well at all, and it would have been better if they just removed it completely. And honestly, we would have lost maybe 5 minutes at the most. It just didn't work. But that aside, it's a good story, well executed otherwise, not completely predictable, with some very likeable characters, solid performances, nice variety in the locations and the activities. And in general, I'd say Love and Where to Find It is a pretty decent film.